Hey guys out there, it's Jonathan Jones again, principal clarinet of the Los Colinas Garland Arlington Symphony and soloist with collab and producer, blah blah blah, a lot of stuff. 4-year All-Stater from Duncanville, 5A. So I have a little bit to say, take it or leave it. But today I want to talk about one thing in particular. No, not coffee straws. Okay. What it's going to be is staccato. It's a crazy thing we all just kind of don't really talk much about. We all kind of think we know how to do it, but we don't really. I'm going to be pretty cut and dry here. Let me talk about the most important things when you're doing staccato. Gotcha. One of the most important things, or maybe the most important thing, is your air. It's all about the air. So, like I said in video number 1, you have to be playing this etude with your metronome, slurred. You want to make, that's kind of crazy. You want to kind of make, you want to make your notes be glued together using your air and your fingers, okay? So after you've practiced it slowly, 2 E and A, 1 E and A. Okay? After you've done that, after you think you've done the whole etude and you're ready to start, really going at it the full out way, you have to know, well, how is my staccato? How do I even know if I'm doing the correct staccato? Well, what we're going to do here, we're going to take our tempo a little bit slower to make sure, and there's a certain tempo that we can perform staccato with. Let's see how this works out. This is pretty good. So what happens is when you're doing staccato, you have to have the same amount of air as when you're doing legato. That's constant air, 100%. I'm going to put a straw in my mouth. If I was blowing that air just the way I was playing, I'd sound like this. And I'll show you what's going to happen as I'm going to play with a straw in my mouth. You're going to see the air is obviously constant. It's pretty easy to recognize. You can hear the straw, I think. So now, guess what? When I play staccato, it has to be the exact same way. It's as if I turn the hose on, on the house, and I let the water build up, put my thumb on it. My thumb is like my tongue on the end of the reed. My tongue is going to just regulate the air that's already prepared. If I wasn't to squirt you in the face right now, what would I do? Would I go over here and turn it? Would I be like, I'm going to get you? And I'd go, turning it on. Wait. And then it gets you. No. I would be ready. I'd be around the corner. I'd have it already on. I'd have my thumb on it. And then I'd just squirt you right in the face. Okay? That's in a sense what you want to do is squirt people in the face of your staccatos. How do we do that? Well, we have to have our air prepared. Okay, and we're going to talk a whole lot about this preparation later. But for right now, let's just keep it simple. The key is your air has to be going just as if it was when it was legato. Okay, when you're playing staccato, a lot of people don't realize the air doesn't stop. Uh-oh, interruption. We'll get back to that. But the air doesn't stop, guys. You have to have the air going constantly. Let me demonstrate. I'm going to play one staccato note. Ready? Interesting. I'm going to play a couple of them in a row, and we'll just see what happens. You should be able to hear that air blowing consistently, okay? As you notice, the air doesn't go duh and then get soft like the note. The air is always there. I just choose when to make the note come out with my tongue. So, when it gets to be with a piece, and if you get it just right, you can make it to where the air does not stop out of the straw. You kind of have to get it to the side of your mouth a little bit, not too much in. And also, kind of a workout system because what happens is you waste a lot of your air coming out of that straw, and you actually have to use more air for the staccato. It's kind of like a donut on your bat. You know, you make your bat real heavy, so you practice with it. Then when you take the donut off, it feels light as a toothpick. Just as in this instance. It's actually a good tool to practice. You can even use several straws. And you can even do like an Arnold Schwarzenegger workout almost. You know, see how many straws you can play with. I'll try 4. Woo! Maybe 2. And you can obviously hear the air. 2 is tough. So maybe you can start out with 1, then use 2, then whatever, maybe it's too hard. You can pinch the straw a little bit, make it a little bit easier so your air doesn't escape. But essentially, this is how you get to practice staccato. This is how you know you're doing the staccato properly, is if you keep hearing the air. If you don't hear the air, you're huffing and puffing, and you're doing this kind of like the big bad wolf, you know? If the big bad wolf would use better staccato and better technique, he would have blown all of the fire out, you know what I'm saying? So when you're practicing, use a straw. This is not a child's game. This is not any kind of a taboo. This is straight up, is my air pumping? It's the only way to officially know. So, let's use our beat. One. Okay, I don't know if you can hear it if the beat's too loud. I'll do it one more time without the beat. But you have to hear this air consistently going just as if you were playing it legato. Notice when I play piano, it doesn't even get softer out of this. It's still pumping fast. And when I'm playing staccato, the same thing. So guys, this is pretty straightforward. A lot of my students even, they want to argue with me. They think it's silly. This is nothing silly about this. If you want to sound like this, the straw has to be there. A little bit harder, almost ran out of air. But guess what? I'm building up my muscles. Mr. SMU 2008 right here. Anyways, hope you guys learned something from this lesson. I'm going to be doing these lessons. I have a lot to say. So if you have any other questions, hit me from my website, jjclarinet.com. If you want lessons, if you're in the DFW area, by all means, I would love to teach you if you're willing to work. So, any other questions, shoot me an email, jjclarinet@gmail.com. jjclarinet.com. Hit me up. Let me know your questions. Let me know how I can help you guys. Good luck.